let's see. Go live. Hit the button. All right. It says we're live, so we'll find out. All right. Welcome from the crossroads of America. Talk show, shooting with disabilities, but we also talk guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience, either in chat or by email at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page, PayPal, and all that other stuff in the info section below. So there we go. All right. So at the moment, since we're waiting for people to stagger into the chat, unless they've gone over to MK Journal, who's quirking me, but that's okay. We got New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing all right. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah. And our friend who hasn't been around for a while, but it's understandable, is Injured Outdoorsman. How you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good, given the circumstances. Glad to be back on the chat.
Okay. Glad to have you back. So, at the moment, let's have a look. I mean, the chat is very light at the moment. We got Tactical FUD was first in, Kingpin, 2 Live Moo. That's it right now. I mean, it's pretty sad. I'm not saying your guys are sad in the chat. I appreciate you being here. But, I mean, it's summertime. You know, it's warm outside. There's other YouTube people doing their stuff. I totally understand. You know? And, but anyway, what I was going to talk about, and actually, I think I was talking about, before we went live, I was talking about my back. You know, because, you know, I got spinal stenosis. Well, as the doctor worded it, severe spinal stenosis. And they wanted, as everybody knows, they wanted to operate on my back. But I didn't want it done. So I'm paying the price. I mean, like the last week and a half, it has been absolutely bringing me to tears. Now, I mean, to cut it real short, for the people who don't know, they want to take my lower, because it's my lower spine, of course, and they want to take 2 sort of like 5 or 6 inch slices out of each side of my spine for it can expand, for the nerves have room to move, for they're not being squished or squeezed so bad. But the thought of that absolutely terrifies me. You know? And so, I mean, that's what I was thinking about today, shooting this. I mean, how long am I going to be out of action for? If it doesn't work, what am I? I mean, these are all things I got to, what's going through my brain. If it doesn't work, am I going to be sort of like stuck in a wheelchair? You know, this is the kind of stuff I'm thinking about. And has nothing to do with the back surgery, but am I still going to be able to go out there and shoot my guns? You know, all this stuff is going through my head. Is my life going to be any better? You know? Can it get any worse? I guess so. I mean, with the pain, but I don't know if I want to take the chance. That's where I'm at right now. That's what I was thinking about. You know? Because, I mean, right now, I mean, I said it's hurting and it's bringing me to tears. But, I mean, I can walk. Not far, but I can walk. You know, I can slowly get in and out of my truck. I can still drive. You know, I mean, it doesn't hurt as much when I'm sitting, but I can only sit for maybe hour and a half. You know, normally if I'm doing the Saturday show here and we go an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, I tell you, after I've gone off air, it is funny watching me try to get out of this goddamn chair to start moving again because it's but that's my issues I have. But I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Am I just wasting time? I don't know. Oh, we got more people in the room. We got Jason Stewart's joined us. Who else? Shady Hill Homestead. All right. People are starting to creep in, so that's good. Also the what else was I going to mention? Besides my poor old me, and my thing. But I was, what was I? Did I read it or did I watch your YouTube? And it was sort of like the five best revolvers with people with disabilities to carry. And it was mainly I think it was I can't think of the one, the LCP, whatever they call it. I don't have one, so I don't know anything about them. It was them plus out of the five, there was three 22 long rifle revolvers in there. So, a 22 will if you hit him in the right spot, it will kill somebody because there's more deaths around the world with a 22 than anything else. The last I read, unless it's changed over the last few years. But we're not meant to be trying to kill somebody. We're meant to be trying to stop the threat. And hitting somebody with 22 bullets, is it gonna stop the threat? That's what that's what you got to worry about, I would think. But I don't know. What do you think about that in New York?
Yeah, I think I guess they were speaking in terms of people with disabilities. I believe from your reference, so that could include a lot of different things. So recoil management, things like that might be more of an issue. So as far as would I depend on a 22? Honestly, I would. I don't think it's the best choice out there, but I think there's definitely better options to stop the threat quicker. So on average, definitely, just about anything bigger. But could you do it? Sure. But I think most people want the game rigged in their favor. So you would go with a heavier round that's gonna, in the end, create more blood loss if you don't hit anything severe. So, and worst come to worst, the person will end up bleeding out. So if you're a horrible shot, but your odds are a little better with a bigger round, in my opinion. But if he could only handle a 22, go for it. I think it depends on, to me, I shoot 22 a lot. So it's like a cap gun, or maybe to some people like a video game. So it's kind of hard to be a bad shot when you shoot it so much with a 22. So I'm confident with a person and the number of rounds with a 22 you can get, and modern ammunition these days. But other people may not feel that way, and some guns don't run them as reliable as others. But a revolver is probably your safest bet. Just quick pull the trigger, just keep pulling. So I can see it. Again, I wouldn't say it's your best option, but if that's, it's a lot better than nothing. I don't want to be really shot at with anything. So
yeah, same here.
It kind of makes the point. Is it going to stop an enraged, person on drugs and this and that if you don't get good shot placement? No, you're probably looking for trouble. But You get enough in them, they may bleed out or die at some point, but I think they're still going to pose a threat for a short time being. Unless you get on target. So if you're somebody that's really comfortable, and again, that's when you're in a situation you're not at your best. So, but yeah, long story short, I think a lot of people sneeze at the 22, but it's how easily you can shoot them and get rounds off. I don't see too much of an issue. There is better options, so no denying.
Yeah. Well, Jason out in the chat says, see what a 22 does to a 2x4 at 50 yards. 22 will destroy a human. I'm not saying it wouldn't, but if you've got a sort of like a determined, mean guy trying to, running towards you, and you're shooting him, and he's just, and to him, it feels like he's just swatting flies away. Is it going to do you any good? So,
I mean, I've seen a full-size deer dropped with a 22 long rifle. As kind of a harvest pest control, eating crops kind of deal.
Yeah.
That they had worked out with the DNR to where it was legal. But I saw a full-size deer dropped with a 22. And quite honestly, it comes down to shot placement, and shot placement comes down to training. So I'd rather have a guy who shoots 300 rounds of 22 a month with a 22 behind me than a guy who shoots 100 rounds or 300 rounds of 9mm once a year behind me.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, I mean, but that's what it comes down to is shot placement. Is so when that guy is coming towards you, you got to be able to make sure you take your time. I mean, I know there's not a lot of time, but you've got to take your time in the sense that make sure you get your shots in the right area. Just don't shoot wild at them.
Sure, and that all comes down to training.
Yeah.
And the more you train and, with a shot timer, with various distances, with various stressors or whatever, you're going to improve no matter what the caliber is.
Yeah. Oh, man. So I got a what you call it bot in my chat here, giving you the cheapest sex or something. One time at 18 years old or something. But the
cheapest sex is right in your hand. Bad joke.
Yeah.
I've carried a 22 as basically testing out a holster and this and that. Just basically carried it as my regular gun for a while, and I didn't need it at the time, but I didn't feel at a loss. I mean, I wouldn't be trying to take any hostage shots across a parking lot or something. Not that I'm really supposed to anyway, but you know what I mean. But the way I see it, I'm gonna probably unload it. So I know people say differently, blah blah blah. Even in my class here, it doesn't matter what caliber it is. They tell you pull the gun out, you unload it, reload, check for family members, anybody else coming into the situation, basically. Which is, in my opinion, I've always been under the impression you shoot to basically, like you're saying, stop the threat. But in my state, the class says put them down. So if you're gonna fire, put them down. So empty your gun. So I don't know. With a 22, I'd probably follow the law in that sense.
In all my law enforcement training, you your job is to stop the threat. Now that could be, talking them down. That could be pulling out your gun. That could be unloading 40 rounds into them. But it's all about stopping the threat and not killing them and not using all your ammo or anything like that. It's stopping the threat and making sure that they aren't a threat to you or others.
Yeah. That's right. Sorry, I'm
Yeah, that's pretty much a rule of thumb, I think, across the board in most cases. But again, the way they teach it here, they want you to unload it. So, that's probably why you see on the news, like, every time an officer pulls his gun in New York, he basically unloads it. So that's what it seems to be. So,
yeah, it seems strange for them to teach you that in New York.
yeah. Well, my instructor basically kind of put it like, I don't know. I can't think of the correct words he put it, but actually, never mind. Don't even worry about it.
All right. Oh well. Yeah, but okay, so you got the
Some
22.
things probably shouldn't be put across there. I don't know. So I don't want to get anybody in trouble or something.
Yeah, I know, but let's see on revolver rounds. What's next? The 38 special on smallest?
You got like what? I think you got 30, 32.
But are they?
There's probably some other weird ones out there,
Yeah,
but
but are they
as far as
revolver?
common,
Yeah, but I'm talking about. I mean, I've never seen a 32 revolver. But then again, they made them years ago. So I don't know.
Honestly, I'm not a revolver guy, but I know
I'm not
there's a
either.
lot of weird calibers out there.
Yeah.
The 22 Magnum's always a popular one. And 22 Magnum has more energy behind it, and it's typically made to a higher quality. You should carry the highest quality ammo, whether that's CCI mini mags or stingers or whatever. But typically the 22 mags are more reliable than your average 22 long rifle.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a little. I mean, people think it's a. I'll carry it sometimes. I have a little one of those North American arms, single action 22 Magnum. I carry. I mean, that's not my main carry, but sometimes I'll carry it as a backup, just in case I might need it. But that's about. I mean, that's the only 22 revolver I got. So. And you're right. That 22 Magnum, even out of that little thing, I mean, when it hits something, it does some damage to it.
I visible damage, like shooting a vehicle or a post or something. I mean, that's gonna be one thing. It's gonna 22 will make a hole in a vehicle. I can tell you that. As well as like a 2x4, like Jason was pointing out prior in the chat or whatnot. Can't see the chat, but I'm recalling from Rick's statement.
Yeah, but it will.
But
I mean,
in the end, if you're not hitting, busting bone or hitting an organ, really you're just punching holes. And in that case, you're sure there's maybe a little loss of movement or muscles affected, this or that, but it's blood loss. So most people that are shot with handguns die from blood loss. Like if you look in the numbers and whatnot, and honestly, most people shot with handguns live. So it's kind of weird. Rifles the other way around, but there's a lot of numbers out there. But really, it'll come down to blood loss if you're not hitting anything vital. So if you got a bigger round, you're going to lose blood quicker. So that's just really what it is. So that's why, like, injured outdoorsman saying as well, shot placement is key. It doesn't matter, you got a 45 or whatever, if you don't hit anything good, you're basically relying on shock and blood loss.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to be honest, as we said earlier, I mean, I'm not a revolver guy, right? And I've got that little 22 Magnum. Then my next revolver is the only other one I lie. I have three now. I have the 45 Colt, single action, 7.5-inch barrel. But that's not a carry gun. That's just taking it down the range and pretending I'm a cowboy, you know. But I have a 38 special in my thing in my locker behind me. But man, does that thing hurt! As back to the arthritis in my hands, man. When I shoot that thing, I mean, it's got. I mean, came with a rubber grip. I took the rubber grip off and put wooden grips on it. Then went out to the range and shot the damn thing. As soon as I got home, I put the rubber grip back on. I mean, the vibration from those wooden grips pulling a 38 special, because it's only a 2-inch barrel, if that. It's got some recoil. It's not very big, It's a Taurus. It's Model 85. So I mean, it's got a little bite to it when you shoot the damn thing. So that's why I go with, that's why I went back. That's why I went down to my my what's
380.
my 380, my EZ, because it's easy to rack, very little recoil, and I can hit what I'm shooting at, either two-handed or one-handed. So that's what I like about it. So revolvers aren't for me, I'm afraid.
I'd like to get one of those. I think they're 10-shot 22s by Smith & Wesson, I believe it is. But I think Smith & Wesson. It's either Smith & Wesson or Taurus might offer one as well. But looking into them, they're like the cost of a full-size gun. Like, you know what I mean? I'm expecting a few $100, but no, they want like $500-600 almost. The one I was looking at. So it's a lot of dang money for a 22 that I just want because it's cool and I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, even that little North American Arms 22 Magnum I got, single action. I mean, for what it is, it ain't cheap either. You know what I'm saying? So I guess you got to get a high point. I guess. Do they make a revolver?
I was asking if they made a 22, but apparently they don't.
Oh, okay. Hey, Chris from the 740. Then G23's here. Thanks for you guys stopping by. So, for a you don't use a revolver for a carry gun, do you? Injured outdoorsman. No, he must have stepped away. Yeah, must have. All right, we'll wait till he comes back. So, what else was I going to mention? I can't remember what in the hell it was. Damn. No, it's gone. It's gone. So you got anything you want to talk about there in New York? Everybody's leaving me.
Sorry. You referring disability related, or I mean, was there something with the? Do you know what the other two guns were on the list? As far as revolvers?
I don't remember off the top of my list. I didn't write it down. I just happened to be watching it to pass some time, to be honest with you, because I saw the word disabled, So that's why I clicked on it, you know. But they were,
Like you said, the one was Ruger LCR, I believe.
yes, yeah,
So that's what, pocket size, I believe,
yeah,
hammerless. I'm not sure if it makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe the Smith and Wesson Bodyguard revolver. Can't think of what they actually call it, but it seems quite a few people use those. So I don't know if that was the other one that rings a bell, or for the life of you can't recall, or
I can't remember which. I'm trying to think. Hang on. These are. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, come on. How's it? All right. Why is it doing that?
see if Patriot was around, he'd have some answers on this revolver stuff. But
Oh yeah, he's a revolver man. You know.
he must be off doing his daughter's nails or something.
Yeah, he must be. You know. So, hang on. Oh, when did I watch this? I think it was yesterday. I mean, it's by I don't subscribe to him or anything, but he's a gun guy, and I'm trying to think. Oh, I know who it was. I can't find a thing off the top of my head, but it was a lot of people don't like him, and I don't know if when I clicked on it, I didn't realize it was his video I was going to watch, but I went and watched it anyway. But was it God, Guns, and Country or some shit? I can't think of his name of his channel now, but I know he's got the word God in it.
Yeah, I think I've seen a few of his. Isn't there like a female that works at a gun shop that he interviews a lot and gets perspective of?
God, Family, and Guns. That's it.
Yeah. I thought it decent review or whatever or something. So.
Yeah. Oops. Oh, God damn it. Come on. So I'm trying to see if it's listing them anywhere. Let's have a look. Oh, come on. Go. No. Without watching the video, I was wondering if he had it listed down in the description, but he doesn't. And
So this list is from this guy then? It's his list, or do you reference it from somewhere else?
It was his video I watched. Yeah. He put it, I mean,
his list personal.
I think he put it out on June 24th. So it's a fairly recent. It was last week sometime, I believe, that he put it out. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what made. I wasn't even going to bring it up tonight, but it popped in my head. Otherwise, I would have written it all down. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's it. God, Family, and Guns, G23. Yeah. So, but I know 3 of the 5 were 22s. I know that much. Oh, my bot's back again. Can't you what's the word I'm looking for? Not remove, not delete, block. Can't you block people anymore?
I believe so. You got to click on them, and you should have the options pop up.
Yeah. So, all right. I'm trying to think what I was going to. No, I can't remember what those other ones were. Unfortunately.
Damn it! How many times we tell you to write stuff down?
I know. The older I get, the more I should do it too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you need to take a note right now that says write stuff down. So when you looking around, not thinking, you'll see it and be like, okay.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So,
You write it down, you're guaranteed not to forget it. But if you don't, you're going to forget it.
well, you're right. I mean, because I guarantee if I don't take my grocery list with me to the grocery store, I forget something on there. But if I take my list, I get everything that I've written down. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So, since I can't remember, we're changed topics. You know, we talked about my back and my dilemma, what I'm going to do. You know, I got to go. Actually, I'm going to the. I finally got my doctor's appointment, the one that they kept putting off and everything else tomorrow morning. This is to get all the results for all them tests I did with the breathing and stuff. I go see him tomorrow. So we'll find
The
out.
one that's 60 miles away.
No. This one's in Jasper. Now the 160 miles away, that's the that's for a rheumatologist to do my rheumatism. He hasn't even called me yet, so I tell you, I mean, they're slow around here. They really are. But that's only because we're living out here in the middle of nowhere. You pay the price. You pay the price for all this tranquility. Is that the correct word I'm looking for? You can sit here.
And if you don't like it, what are you supposed to do?
You move. You do what Squib says. You move. Mind you, though, you sit here. I mean, sometimes if I'm like, especially when I'm when I'm laying in bed trying to fall asleep, because I normally don't go to bed till around, between 11:30 and midnight. No, on most nights, and so I get in bed and I'm laying there, and as I'm laying there, the house is all quiet, and you can hear the railroad tracks are at least 3 miles from my house, over the other side of the hill. But you can hear the whistle going because it's going through town, and it's got because I think by law they have to blow the whistle when it comes to a railroad crossing on the road, and there's two of them in Bird's Eye, about 50 feet apart. It's kind of strange, but they one has the barriers, the other one that's 50 yards further down doesn't, and he blows the whistle. So like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, you can hear that whistle blowing. It's kind of nice and twink, in the night when it's quiet and off in the distance, you can hear the whistle blowing. You can tell you're out in the middle of nowhere, Oh, my corn's growing. Mind you, out of all I planted, I've only got, I think I counted them. I got all that made it was 10 corn stalks is all I got. I think I planted 50. Only 10 took, but they're big now. I mean, about 4 of them are up to my kitchen window. So they got to be what? What's the standard height of a kitchen window from the ground up when you're building there in New York?
It depends, honestly.
There's
and
an average.
Your codes in your area, and what type of foundation do you have?
It was a fucking average.
I don't know. Is your house level with the ground, or are you sitting on a foundation? I mean, I assume you're up off the ground somewhat. How many steps you got at your place?
Only into the house. It's only about
About a foot. So I don't know, maybe five
Yeah. Well,
feet.
no, I would say it's about 8 inches. Yeah, it ain't a big. It ain't,
Yeah,
it
somewhere
ain't,
at maybe 4 or 5 feet would probably be the standard range in there. Maybe a little taller because your base kitchen cabinets are, I believe, 36
yeah.
height, and then with your backsplash, you're
Yeah.
up
Well,
a bit
see,
higher,
my window,
42 or something. So
my sink,
probably
my kitchen sink
5
sits.
feet somewhere in there.
My kitchen sink sits below the window. So when I'm sitting at the sink, I
Yep.
can look out. But what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
when I'm looking,
So
when
it's
I'm
probably a
washing,
5 foot range.
you
That's
know,
tall though.
well,
How
what I'm
tall
saying
is it
is
when
the corn
you
stalks.
standing next to it?
My corn stalks are, I can see them out of the window. They're that tall now. So they're coming along. So I mean, I ain't gonna get many, but hey, it was worth a shot. See if it worked. Hey, Kevin in New York's out in the chat. So, oh, did you see what they did to everybody in California who's got a carry permit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
love
they did similar in New York a while ago, but I don't know
yeah.
if it was, the same amount of people or what. But I heard they even put out people that applied, so not even necessarily that you got a permit or whatever, even that you applied. So kind of strange.
Yeah, yeah. So, has anybody? Do you know
Officials
anybody in
can't
your state
keep track of your stuff.
that's applied and got through no problem?
Not yet. Even in, you mean from this new ruling?
Yeah.
No, it would still, if he went down when it happened and applied, it would still take you probably months to get a permit. So, because
Yeah, but
your
what I'm
first
saying is
step
that,
to getting one.
but they shouldn't have to ask you for why you want it now.
Yeah,
That goes
yeah,
into
but
effect immediately.
you still have the fingerprints, you still have the class. You got to go through get a permit just to own a gun to have one in your home, and then you got to go through another permit process to actually carry the gun. So, and in between that, you're going to a class, you're getting fingerprints done prior. They have to get all your references to get kicked back. They all have to be checked. People actually get called, spoken to, and they have a letter that's mailed to them that they have to mail back with 3 different people, and they all got to send it in. If not, then your money's for nothing. So it's still a hell of a process. You can't get one like quicker than probably 6 months or something like that. And if you try to get your carry right off the jump, they always deny it. So you got to go in to get a gun permit first, and then go through to do your carry permit. So yeah. So even though now the only part that's going to change is that you're going to skip the part of having to write a letter to the judge and wait on his or her, I should state, approval or denial. So other than that, it's still a drawn out pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, which is a shame, but that's. I mean, they said they could still do that. The bit about good moral character, I think is. I mean, they had that one in Rhode Island, which I think is a bunch of crap. Oh, Jason Stewart said the normal for a kitchen window is 45 inches. So there you go. In case you needed to know that, Rob, when you're out there building something. Oh yeah, and also what Kevin in New York just mentioned. It also, I see that your what's her name, Loretta, whatever her name is, that DA is suing a whole list of gun manufacturers now under the that stupid law that they passed where they can sue manufacturers. I mean, I'm quite surprised somebody hasn't challenged that in court. But maybe they're going to. I don't know. I guess Rob's gone off to eat because I heard dishes in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, but doesn't shock me. That's what New York does, is always pushing for crap. So I know they said it was legal here in the state that they could go after manufacturers, which I feel is ridiculous. But
federal law says they can't.
So I don't know. The state's trying to say you can here, so I don't know. So
yeah.
That's one of them things. So of course it'll probably end up getting challenged or appealed or something and drawn out. But I'd like to say, if you can go off manufacturers, and some attorney out there should have like class action lawsuit, the size of the Bible, for toothbrushes, cars, screwdrivers, drills, hammers. I mean, people have been hurt with so many different things that, you could put a lawsuit up that would just bankrupt the country if you wanted to. I mean, we're just going to go after manufacturers like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, another thing is, what I was talking about, the red flag laws. I think we talked about this Saturday. I think it was Saturday. We were talking about is if you think about it, right? Red flag, besides being unconstitutional, are they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're because they only affect gun owners. They don't use. I mean, if you're a danger to yourself or others, and all you're doing is ranting and raving, right? That I'm going to go down the road and beat the hell out of somebody with my baseball bat. They don't come in and confiscate all your baseball bats. You know what I'm saying? They only are going after gun owners. So isn't that discrimination? In sort of a weird way, because all
that's
red
one
flags,
way of looking at it.
All red flags do is pick on gun owners. If you don't have, put it this way, if you do not own guns, you will never be challenged with the red flag law, because all those red flag laws are is to get your guns away. It's just something I was thinking about.
I don't know. I think somebody might try calling in somebody and red flagging somebody and saying they have guns just because they're a spiteful neighbor or something like that. And maybe they do, maybe they don't, but you still had a bad time when a bunch of people showed up and rummaged through all your shit for nothing.
Yeah. Jason said, I would like to thank all the Democrats for all their anti-constitutional efforts. You wished and cheated for too much. Now you have no one to blame but yourselves. Yeah, but they don't see it that way. They're even now, your guys there in New York are trying to see what they can find to say is a sensitive place. And it states right there in that ruling that, for argument's sake, like the subways, it's never been. I mean, even today, there's no law that says you can't carry in a subway in New York. Believe it or not. So they can't all of a sudden say that's a sensitive place because there's no history and tradition to do it. It falls flat on its face because it doesn't have any. So, but I'm quite surprised nobody's with that ruling. Though somebody ought to be challenging Washington D.C. because they've practically made the whole city a sensitive place. you know. So we'll see. I think there's going to be a lot of lawsuits coming up. I believe that the Supreme Court sent the magazine ban back to California. They there's a word for it where they ruled that it was constitutional. Supreme Court has nixed that. In other words, there's no and go back and retry it, basically, following the new rules of history and tradition. So I think it was pretty good. But what's really good, what people aren't even thinking about, is I think it dropped tomorrow. There is a case that was, I don't think it's dropped yet, West Virginia against the EPA. Is it the EPA? Is that what it did? The Environmental Protection Agency? The state of West Virginia plus 2 power companies, I believe, are suing the EPA for them changing the rules that did something in that state. I think it closed down some mines or something, right? And what they're saying is they don't have the authority to do that. They're bureaucrats. Only the Congress can make law. So I don't know which way that one's going to go. If it falls that in favor of West Virginia and the power company, could use that against the ATF, because the ATF are rewriting the rules, trying to make law. I thought that, I was thinking about that one too. I got a lot of time on my hands. I think about a lot of this stuff, Oh, there's Patriot in the dark. Oh, never comes in here anymore, but he manages to show up in the chat. So. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Long-time viewer, first-time caller. Yeah. I haven't seen you in here in ages. You just kicked me to the curb like everybody else has. Did you know, I was telling New York Outcast before we went live, I don't have, I've never been one to worry about, subscribers per se. I don't have many anyway, but I noticed either YouTube has gone through and found some, fake accounts or something, but in the last month and a half, I've lost 10 subscribers. And when you've only got hundreds, 10 is a big number. If you got thousands, 10 is nothing, So Jason said the ATF days are numbered. I hope so. They should be.
I lost a few recently too, but everybody's not for everyone. So.
Oh yeah.
Man,
I know.
People outgrow things, this and that.
Yeah,
not necessarily outgrow it, but you go through phases of stuff, this and that. So honestly, you do ramble on about yourself a lot, so maybe people are turned off from that. It's like dealing with your grandpa hearing the same story 30 times or something. Every time you see him. I agree. So they might be wanting something more focused. I don't know, but so there's probably a combination of a lot of things out there. But
absolutely.
Me, I'm not really worried about it. I'm not trying to be something, so it doesn't matter to me. Hopefully, I might be able to save somebody a buck. maybe learn something myself, get the bullshit. So that's all I'm here for.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But I like talking about myself. But yeah, people get tired of hearing it, especially when you only got the same few coming all the time. I can totally understand. You know. Hey, John Brown.
Patriot showed up. He showed his face for once.
Oh, Patriot. Yeah, I see he's
Not
in there.
literally, but
How you doing?
Doing good. Hi, fellas.
Hey, is your daughter? How's your daughter's skeet thing going, or whatever it is? Is it over? Is it started,
yeah.
or what?
That was over last week of school. Did pretty good. And this past weekend, we went to the dad's farm here, and she shot for the first time her or the Ruger 2245 22 pistol, my Sig Sauer P238, the little 380, and she shot the P220 and 45 ACP, and
Wow.
she did good at it, and she shot an AK. So that was a great weekend.
Damn.
We had a little reunion kind of thing, and
Yeah.
once all the squishy liberals left, we went out and shot it up. So I was really happy. I was impressed. She didn't have any issues. We're shooting at 6-inch steel targets that Mr. Buck sent me at 30 yards, and she shot it with her skeet gun and tore one right off the shepherd hook. So that was like the first time she shot at it. So yeah, I didn't. All my pistols, the sights are they're just useless anyways. They're not adjusted. So they were shooting with my sights and they were all over the place, but it was fun.
Yeah. What are you doing messing around with the sights?
That's what I said. I don't, and so they're.
Well, what I'm saying is most guns today, the sights are pretty well on when you get them.
Yeah, I guess if you
unless
you
you're
need
buying
that kind of stuff,
unless you're buying yours from Shady Characters.
I've always adjusted mine, so and I suppose you could Kentucky windage off any gun, but I've never got one that hit where I was pointing.
I've never got
exactly. So
I've never had to adjust the sights on any of mine. Mine shoot true. Now I did now my 1911. I had to adjust it because the rear sight came loose, so it was moving. So once I tightened that down and put it back where it belongs, it's good as like it was when it was brand new.
Well, typically like zero. I mean, you got a basic zero or the sights or whatever alignment, but for one person to the next, it may be kind of transferred a little differently. So
yeah. Well, the only thing go on. Now,
that's basically it with handguns. Rifle, it comes in other factors, your cheese, how you settle up on it, things like this as well. So, but it's basically that's all I was stating is, I've like swapping with friends, their gun will be dead on, and I might shoot it, and it's always to the left or to the right or something like that, and I'm trying to run straight with their sights. So basically, you can shoot guns, or I can shoot guns like that. After you take a shot or two, you just Kentucky windage adjust, and you're good to go, roughly. But that's all I was bringing up. So. But so Patriot, I mean, if he's got a bunch and he's never adjusted them, I mean, how do you know, putting them away, whether they got bumped out of whack, and then a sighted person picks it up and it's not really adjusted for them, or it's out of whack to begin with.
He wasn't here and you were bad mouthing him. Now he's here, you're defending him.
No, I'm here.
I said you were probably off doing your.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Go ahead.
shot
Yeah.
like she's got a pump action pellet pistol, and the whatever that 780 pump master, rifle style. But as far as like a real pistol, she's never really shot them, and so it's kind of I've got couple sighted people that's kind of explained it. I mean, I explain it, but I'm dad, so that doesn't count. She don't she
Yeah.
don't pay attention to me, but yeah, and plus it was that those targets are black, and we're in a what it was kind of like a gravel pit portion of the farm where they took out stone and rock and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all grown up, so there's really no contrast, on the end. And 30 yards is probably more than she probably should have started with, some of those pistols.
But you hit it though.
Yeah, she hit it with her shotgun, no problem. Tore it right off it, and yeah. It was great though. It was fun.
Yeah, I love shooting still. Hearing the lead hit it and hearing it ping. It's great.
I was so excited. I didn't get a single picture or video of her shooting it, and I was like, once we left, and I was going home, it's like, oh man. So I guess it was suggested that we go out there again and do it. So
that sounds like a good idea.
I guess we can.
You can never shoot too much.
So it was fun though.
That was cool.
I was happy that she, especially with that P220 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, it's a heavier, full size 45, but
I got
shot
a
it like a
question
champ.
for you.
She didn't.
Does she like cleaning her shotgun?
Oh yeah. She was just like, but Dad, we're spending the night. I didn't bring my kit. It's like, don't worry, you'll have plenty of time. So.
She's the one that cleans it after every time she uses it, huh?
Oh yeah, she takes it all apart.
Hey, I'm that way myself too.
Yeah.
Very rare that I leave it. I might leave it for a few hours, but I get it done the same day. Yeah.
That's cool. Figure you probably got a kid at your place anyway, right? Patriot?
Oh yeah. I've this was at my dad's farm.
Either way.
Yeah. She's got she we went out there for a reunion and stuff, and so once, like I said, once the squishy college types left, and then we had free reign, and that's been fun.
Now I'm gonna.
That's how it always is with the family places. There's always a group that you're just waiting to get rid of.
It's just like, man,
it always seems to be the way it is.
You think it's just on the internet that there's retarded people. I mean, people that are just slow and don't understand, or they know 100% what they know,
or just extremely annoying.
They might watch this, so I better watch it. Maybe.
Sometimes there's those people that seems like they start drinking at breakfast and everything's super funny, and they can't help but scream everything and laugh, and those are the ones that I'm just happy to say hi and bye to. So it's not even that funny when you're drunk. I don't understand it.
Well, I'm going to upset you again, New York. Back to the sights being dead on. I mean, that's like people who say, this gun shoots better than this gun. Every gun shoots better than a human being does anyway. You put any gun in a machine that will hold it and fire it, it will hit what you're aiming at every time. So it just makes me laugh when I hear people say that. I mean, like me, my 1911.
A machine.
Well, whatever you call it.
If it's a zeroed gun and it's climate controlled, the ammunition is exactly perfect, then sure, a machine can, but people aren't machines. And that would be like swapping from one machine to another machine to another machine. Are they all calibrated 100% at that zero?
Yes, they are.
They might say they are, but are they 100th or 1,000th off? Machines go through problems like that all the time with tooling and die. I mean, that's part of even an alignment machine's got to be recalibrated, or should be. So basically there's still differences. So yeah, that's what I can say. Believe what you want to believe.
The way firearms are manufactured today, right? The machines are so precise, it's unreal. For them to be out.
I believe the gun will repeat wherever it shoots, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to line up with the sights direct from the factory. But I believe in general, if everything's controlled, the gun's going to repeat the performance. But
if you keep,
it doesn't necessarily mean it's dead set zero.
Yeah, well, the guns you buy must be when they come into the store, they must be thrown onto the floor or something before they hit the shelf.
Maybe,
I can say.
Maybe. Are you just got buyer's eyes? That's what it is. Everything you buy is just perfect, buddy.
Now,
perfect.
What I was saying, my 1911, my 38 special, I can't. Here's what they say: I can't shoot it worth a shit. But my 1911, I can hit everything I can with it. It's got nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with one gun being better than the other per se. The 1911, because being an all steel gun, is heavier, soaks up the recoil, so it's a lot easier to keep shooting the target. Where the 38 special gives me a hell of a sting when I pull the trigger. But as I said, you put them into a device that will hold them. They will hit the target every time. You take the human out of it. Those guns, the way they're made today, are damn good. Yeah, you're going to get the odd lemon. I'm not saying that. But on average, out of thousands of guns, they're going to hit that gun is going to shoot better than you as a human anyway. So there you go. And I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I think that's just a different point than the sight thing. But yeah.
Wow. All right. Anyway, it's 8:00. So I'm going to wind it up. But don't forget drawing my quiz this week for my swag pack. And it was a real easy one. I need an email to get into the quiz. What I wanted to know is on the Walsh, is that how you pronounce it? 31 caliber 10-shot revolver. I wanted to know how many were made and who made them. So there you go. Email me at rickslifeasIseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Get it into me by noon Saturday, Eastern time, the only time zone that matters. And you'll be in for the drawing. So there we go. All right. So we got that out of the way. Anything else? Any last minute things you want to talk about? I got a few minutes I can spare. The other cat doesn't, well, I've already fed him, but the other cat doesn't bother me. Because I've only got one cat now, Patriot. The old one passed away last week. So the other one, he doesn't bother me like the other one did. The other one would, put it this way. I don't want to sound mean, but I don't have one new scratch on my leg or anything. So, because he's the one that used to scratch me, the one that died. So, there you go. I'm talking about myself again. Bad me. Yeah.
Well, I could say I'm happy. It's not on disabilities, but
you realize you hurt my feelings.
Why?
That's okay. Saying I talk about myself too much. You hurt my feelings.
God, I'm being honest, man.
Yeah, I'm going to
can't handle the honesty, but
I'm going to take my ball.
There's a bit of rambling sometimes and repetitiveness and this and that.
Hey.
You're cool. I like you, Rick. That's why I hang out. But I can see how other people might get turned off. So I'm just being honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to lie to you? Give you a
Yes.
cookie and rub your belly, or what?
Yes.
I'm from New York. I don't work that way. You are not that cute.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you.
But hey, everybody ain't for
ramble.
everybody.
I do
so,
ramble
yeah.
on sometimes, because it is. I mean, but then again, look at the name of my show, Rick's Life as I See It. It's all about me. So there we go. I got an answer for it. But as you said, if I am an acquired taste, if people don't like it, there's other YouTube channels out there. I just happen to mention when you've only got a few hundred subscribers and you lose 10, it notices. If you got a few thousand and you lose 10, it doesn't show up so much. That's all I was saying. So thank you, Jason. Yeah, the old boy finally, I think the old diabetes finally got to him. He went into a coma and never came out of it. So I miss him, but I'm glad he went because I didn't want it to drag on and on and on. So, all right, New York Outcast, you got any plugs or shout outs?
Just thanks for joining us, everybody. Got a sale going on for Independence Day at Arnold Display. So if you're a member, you get the best deal out there. Other than that, there's go check it out if you're interested. There's a code posted on the top of the website for Independence Day. But anyway, besides that, obviously check out each other out there in the chat if there's anybody new out there besides the sex bot person or whatever. But other than that, eat a salad, do something good. Don't sit on your butt on YouTube all day. Take it easy.
All right, thank you. Patriot, you got anything?
No, I just been working around the house, so I haven't been doing videos, and I throw out, the daily community things. If you never checked it out, you can go through some of them.
Did you have to have some? I've never even looked into that. Do you have to have so many subscribers to use it, or can anybody do it?
I think you have to have a certain amount. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But yeah,
I think it's 500.
Okay.
Is it?
I believe.
Yeah. All right.
I try to post things that are kind of relevant but historical. So yeah. But most of the time it's just from stuff I've been reading. So it's
I read them all the time when you put them out there.
Yeah. Try to get
a lot of educational stuff. Normally from the founding fathers and all that good stuff.
And did you see the Mr. Knives came and visited me? Well, it really wasn't him. It ended up because I didn't have chocolate. But I posted a picture of that big snapper turtle that was walking down a local. Wasn't in my area. It is in my area, but it was my daughter's mom's place. They got a cul-de-sac and some kind of swamplands past them.
Oh, there's a snapping turtle walking down the road.
Yeah, big spikes and all sorts of stuff. So I had to post that for Mr. Knives. So
hey, he came in the chat here a couple of Saturdays ago.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in ages. So, all right, I'm going to call it quits. I just don't want to ramble on about myself. So,
knock it off.
I will be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So I want to say thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. And, thank you is all I can say for being here and listening to me. So and us whatever we talked about.
And be
So,
careful if you're blowing stuff up this weekend and next week. Watch your fingers. Get enough time.
yes.
So
Yeah. Actually, talking about that, I want to get before I go off. It's what's called. It's legal here to buy. Is it Tenorite? Is that what it's called? They sell it down the
Tannerite.
local Rural King. I think next time I get a paycheck, I think I might go buy some. See what I can blow up. Yeah. What do you, I mean? Will any? I mean, do you have to? I mean,
You'll probably have to use your AR to shoot it.
Special you got to do. I
don't know. Last I heard, it was like you had to have something that was pretty fast to get it to ignite. But maybe it's changed. I don't know.
All right. Yeah. Well, I might try to get some, figure it out. So, all right, guys. I want to say to everybody, thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all on Saturday. So, good night, everybody.
Bye, Sabrina.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That sounds so much.